Eastern Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains, a field of trees. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where those dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. The coyotes run all night. It's music to my ears and in my sights. I've got this hunting fever down in my bones. Glad my daddy taught me everything I know. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run. Where dreams are made, trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, a bugling elks there on the run. Where dreams are made, the trophies is our game. The TLC Outfitters is our name. Outfitter is our name.
Hey everybody, welcome to On Air and Outdoors with TLC Outfitters. Happy Tuesday night. Hope everybody's had a great start to their week. And we appreciate everybody joining us. If you've not done so, please like and share this video. Get the word out there about all things on air and outdoors with TLC Outfitters. As always, my name's Trinity Shepherd. We're joined also tonight by our cohort, Matt Woolwine. Matt, thanks for taking time out of your very busy schedule to be with us, buddy. Seems like it don't let up for you.
No, not too much, buddy. Not too much.
We hope everybody had a chance to maybe get out this weekend and enjoy the great outdoors and what God gave us. And man, it's a pretty exciting week for us here at TLC. We got some big stuff coming up at the end of the week.
Yeah, man, I looking forward to getting together, all of us, and getting out and doing the stuff we love. So
yeah, man,
hopefully people will stay tuned and we can get some good videos and they can at least live vicariously through our videos if they can't be there with us.
That's exactly right. We'll be talking all about that. This is the Dove Show this week, so we're going to be talking about the upcoming dove season going to be opening this Friday. I know everybody's excited about deer season coming up on Saturday, but man, I'll tell you, we're as equally or more excited this week for dove season to come in. One of our favorite times to get out and be able to have a good time. And we're looking forward to it. We got some folks with us tonight. As always, we've got our biggest fan, my mama, says howdy, howdy. Hope you're doing well, mama. We got our very own Tim fan says, sup, man. Hope you're doing good, Tim. Miss Trish Ann says, hello. Hello, Trish. We got our good buddy, Paul Sherritt, says, hey, guys, we good so far. Going to hit around 2 a.m. Man, Paul and our TLC Florida family is staring down the barrel of a big old hurricane. I don't even remember the name of it. I know they go by the
Idalia or something like that.
Yeah. We not pay much attention to the name of it. Idalia, maybe. Anyway, right now it's at a category 2, wind speed at 105, and Prediction. This thing is kind of tracked north. Our TLC family's right there in Inglis, Dunellen, Ocala, and early prediction showed that the eye of this thing was going to go right through there, and now it shifted north. I talked to Scott Sumter earlier, and it shifted north a little bit, so they're getting some outer bands that's getting ready to hit. But Gator Paul, man, our thoughts and our prayers down there with everybody, but everybody to be safe. I know they're worried about this thing headed towards a Category 3 that can bring some major storm surge, and we don't want anybody to get hit. But this thing's going to come on shore and looks like it's going to bring some pretty stout stuff with it. So everybody just stay safe, and you keep checking in with us, Paul, you and Scott and Wayne and everybody. Make sure that you let us know that you all are okay. We appreciate you being with us tonight, man. Thank you. My mom says, yes, Mr. Paul, sending prayers are just safe. Tim Fannin, prayers for Paul and everybody. And Miss Trish says prayers for everybody down there. Also, we're joined tonight by John Haley. Says, hey, guys, how's it going this week? John, man, it's going good. Trying to get ready for elk season. That's for sure. We're going to take a little break coming up the end of this week for dove season. Man, I sent you a nice picture earlier today. We talking about our Florida family. We have got gators on the brain. I know everybody up here is gun-ho for elk, but and we are too. But we have got gator on the brain.
Yeah.
So
and that picture you sent me today was a true dinosaur, buddy.
Yeah, man. And I want you to look at this thing. Now we're going to be headed out to Florida mid-October to go down with Wayne and Wayne Hargabus, Scott Sumter, Gator Paul, and all of our Florida family down there. But man, look at this brand new Mississippi state record 2 days into the season. Look what a dinosaur, man. That thing is unbelievable. And I got some information here on it. Like I said, this is the new Mississippi state record. It says the department said the record alligator was harvested Saturday, August the 26th by 4 folks, Tanner White, Don Woods, Will Thompson, and Joey Clark. Red Antler Processing says the hunters found the monster on the Yazoo River. And this thing is, they're calling this thing nightmare material. I believe 14 feet 3 inches. The gator had a belly girth of 66 inches, so around the belly, and a tail girth. Look at that tail there where they're holding that right there in the middle. That tail is 46.5 inches, and this gator weighs in at 802.5 pounds. 802.5 pounds, almost a half a ton of lizard right there.
I know we all want to kill a big one down there in Florida, but part of me, I'll tell you, man, part of me wants to get one that's 14 foot and 3 inches. The other part of me is almost like, man, what a shame to kill an animal that has seen so much in its life.
Yeah.
There's no telling. I wish we kind of knew what kind of age that thing was, but I don't know. Was that thing 20 years old?
Much older than that. So, our Florida folks have educated me a little bit. When you get to that 10 feet mark, you're 50 years plus. Now you can have a 10-footer that doesn't isn't at that age, but when you get into a big girthy 10-footer, that's 50 years. So, wow. You take that dinosaur right there, man. That thing's been around. That thing, I don't know, between 50 to 50 years to 100 years. that thing's been around and seen some stuff.
They slow down growing once they get so big, I would have to think. So
that's right.
If he got 10 foot in 50 years, it might took him another 50 years to grow that extra 4 foot. I don't know, but like I said, it is definitely something that would awestruck you. But man, to think that thing is no longer is kind of a shame too in itself, really, in one way or the other.
It is, yeah, and very proud of these guys. Kudos to these guys for the new state records. Kudos to these guys for a great harvest. I mean, it is, it's bittersweet, and but to be able to have something like that, man, I don't know. I know what you're saying, but man, just great harvest by these fellas. A true warrior. The first time we were down there, we got one almost 9 feet, and that thing was absolutely a fight. I cannot imagine what a fight a 14, over 14-foot gator is. Just unbelievable.
I can tell you somebody that is happy, and that's whoever the satellite alligator was in that pond. You know it.
That's right. This big old imperial guy is no more to wreak havoc. I'd say his tail biting days and his youngster days are over. So I'd say those little ones are pretty happy.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff, man. Congratulations, guys. Very good. Man, I tell you what, we touched base on it kind of a little bit last week, but this show tonight we want to talk about dove hunting, and I hope that maybe we'll say something to get the word out there. We've been doing it for a long time now. We've been doing it for many years, and I hope we'll say something tonight that maybe will get the word out there that maybe somebody that's not tried it will head out and try it. I mean, I couldn't think of a better thing. I know everybody's got their mind on deer, man. There's plenty of time for an old deer, but there's nothing like opening day for dove season for me. I mean, am I wrong?
Well, you know me, man. I look at it there again. I look at things a little different for myself. But, I've me and my niece and stuff. We've traveled all over the nation and shot targets, shot trap, and stuff like that over the years. And got a lot of shotgun in my life, and to get out there and shoot a bunch of birds or shoot at a bunch of birds is, I mean, that's fun. Don't get me wrong, but dove season to me is about camaraderie. It is one of those things that you can get out there with friends and family, and you don't necessarily have to be quiet, and you don't necessarily have to be still. And it's one of them things where you can get out and enjoy the people you're with, and then flip a switch and turn around and have target practice, And so, I like to get out there and I like to cook and I like to set the fields up and I like to get a group of people together and just really enjoy the fact that the seasons are getting ready to change, and we're going into that time period in an outdoorsman's year that is just so enjoyable, and that's of course fall and early winter.
Yep. And we're pretty excited, man. I tell you, it's something to me to be able to go out. People ask me all the time, well, I've never dove hunted. What is it like? And in Eastern Kentucky terms, it's almost like a catfish pay pond, except you don't have poles, you don't have a pond, you got a field, you got shotguns. And we're gonna be headed out, and we're gonna be cooking breakfast for the entire field and got some goodies to give away and doing some fun stuff. And just to get out and sit around and listen, man, the table fare for these things. I know people have a hard time thinking, well, it's poor, it's a morning dove, there's a significance there. I mean, there's a lot of doves, or there wouldn't be a season on them like there is, and there's some good eating.
Yeah, and I don't know about down in Eastern Kentucky as much as I do up here in Central, but these Eurasian collared doves are even really starting to reproduce, and they're starting to gang up around. I see a lot of collared around the farm. With the cattle feed and this and that, it's in the area. And then, you got the natural stuff like the ragweed that's getting ready to seed out. And then you got, around where I live, you got, like I said, all these farms, all these feedlots, all this, and the collar doves are really, I see just about as many collar doves as I do mourning doves. So,
pretty exciting time, man. It's good. And listen, that's a season that stays in a lengthy amount of time. Like, it's not just one. For us, it's almost one day and done. We go open a day, get our fill of it, hopefully get some table fire, and we're kind of done with it. But those public fields, and we're going to get ready to go over a bunch of information. Those public fields are open, the duration of season, and it offers a lot of good shoots, and you don't have to have a public field if do some scouting. Some of the best dove hunts we've had over the years are on some of these reclaimed surface mine lands. So there's a lot of public hunting on reclaimed surface mine lands that are not, quote unquote, an ag dove field, but offers a lot of good hunting. So you don't have to have a per se dove field to be able to go and dove hunt. So I just hope everybody takes advantage of it and gets out there and enjoys it.
Trent, and you say one and done for us, but it's not necessarily that we want it to be one and done. But after that opening weekend, we have to start really getting into elk mode, and so then that's tied up the next 2 weeks, and then we got an off week, and then we come right back into elk season. So. It's not that we wouldn't hunt more or we wouldn't go out and shoot more and enjoy that. It's just there's so much going on from the start of September moving forward that it's just hard to fit it into the schedule sometimes.
It sure is. And we look forward to it. It's like the last little break for us until we get into full-blown elk mode for a month. So all the scouting and everything that's been going on for us during that, leading up to elk season, we've been beating the bushes, and it's a nice little break from that. So we're pretty excited. I want to start us off before we go over to the website and go over a bunch of information, Matt. Sometimes we let the equipment list knock us out of something we want to try, especially if we're new to it. What would you consider to be a bare bones? This is what I got to have to be able to go and enjoy a nice day of shooting at a public field or wherever I'm going. What would be a bare bones list for you for a dove field?
It'd be nice to have a bucket or something to sit on.
Yeah, good seat.
And a shotgun, and if depending on what style shotgun you're using, make sure you got it plugged. Really, look, guys, you can get out there in a pair of khaki pants, wear blue jeans if you want to. Maybe that's not ideal, but there's plenty of people that go dove hunting wearing blue jeans. A camouflage t-shirt or a neutral color t-shirt, a drab green or a brown shirt or something like that. But, make sure you got your right licenses. And, one thing, check and make sure that if you are going to a public field that, that lead shot's acceptable. It doesn't have to be steel shot, something like that. So each public field's got its own little rule and regulation about that. But, that's it. You need and probably a bottle of water because, them 80 and 90 degree opening days on September the 1st, them's pretty hard on you if you're not prepared for that. But yeah, it's not a whole lot of stuff.
Yep, that's right. And for me, the most important thing is to get online and look over the migratory bird manual, because there's the field guide, because there's some stuff in there you don't want to overlook. One, you want to make sure that you do your hip survey on your profile. That's going to be, I think, a 16-digit code that you basically answer 3 or 4 questions, a few questions, not hard. It's basically from the prior year, and you write that on your license. You got to have a hip survey. Make sure your shotgun will only hold 2 in the magazine, 1 in the breech. 3 shots. It doesn't matter if you've only got 3 shells in your gun, if there's more go in that magazine, that's an automatic ticket. So make sure you got a plug. You don't have to have a fancy shotgun. If you've got something, I usually start out the modified and move to a full at the end of the day because they're flying a little higher. But my go-to, I've got a Remington 870 pump and a 11 or a Remington Sportsman versus Max. So you don't have to have high end stuff to be able to go do it. You have to make sure the field you're going to with what kind of shot you're going to have, whether you're using lead shot or you have to use non-toxic. A lot of the fields have non-toxic shot. And man, bring you a little cooler with plenty of drinks, a few snacks, and a good time. Don't go to the field like Matt Woolwine with 1 box of shells.
Hey, but listen, if you read through the regulations, some of them, I know it's like this on some of them quota hunts, but on some of those public fields, and it may just be quota hunts, but they limit you to 50 shells, 2 boxes. Yep. So if you think that if you're sitting out there watching this show and you think, I'm big and bad and son, I can shoot with anybody, I think what take you a single shot 16 gauge and go out there with no more than 2 boxes of shells. We'll see how good you are.
That's right. Talking about a field, Tim Fan says, I attempted to plant a dove field, but the deer ate all my sunflowers before they had a chance to grow up. Still got a few native plants, pulling a few in though. That's good. You either got to protect those fields, depending on how big your private field is. You got to protect those fields, with electric fence or something, or you got to plant lots of food. Look here, who showed up to the game a little bit late there.
Imagine that.
Yeah. How you doing, man? Appreciate you tuning in, Justin. Justin Tinsley from Tinsley Custom Wildlife. Showed those slings last week, Justin. Man, those things are hot. I like them. I want to move on over here to this first time we've ever done this. Let's see what Justin says right here. We will be open Saturday and Sunday 9 to 8. We will be taking deer for taxidermy, and our processing will be in full swing. That's something else, with deer season being in. If you're there around Lawrenceburg, close to it, or even if you're not, you kill that trophy of a lifetime, that velvet trophy of a lifetime. I suggest giving Tinsley Custom Wildlife a call. Also, they've got a state-of-the-art processing place there that you need to go check out. They can do anything. Matt, they can even make snack sticks, can't they?
There's something about them snack sticks that may or may not be available this year. I'm not sure.
Yeah. I think it's just easier to put them snack sticks in bigger rolls and call it summer sausage. That's what I think. I'm fixing to get in trouble right here. I ain't even going to pop up the next comment coming from. I can only imagine. So everybody make sure if you kill that trophy of a lifetime, make sure that you give a Tinsley Custom Wildlife a call or for all your processing needs. I got 2 of them on me now. Justin Tinsley said, I can't use the right emoji. And Christy Tinsley, look here, Christy, she's the brains. She's the brains of Tinsley Custom Wildlife, and a lot of the bronze says exactly. So they're already. I'm not in big favor with.
I think Christy's the one that put an X-nay on the snack sticks before Justin did.
Yeah. I think I got the last batch.
She might be the one that was responsible for grinding the meat 10 times before he got it.
She says you are a smart man. Oh, goodness. Let's get back to Dove right here. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, Christy and Justin. So I'm going to add this to the stream right there. If you go to fw.ky.gov, fw.ky.gov, This is going to be the homepage there. As you can see, they got the countdown on. We are 2 days, 14 hours, and 32 minutes from opening our dove season. Never done this before, folks, on here, so bear with us. This is what you see. This is what's coming up here until dove season. When you go on here and you scroll down, of course, you got the fall hunting and trapping guide right here. Find a place to fish. Right there is the migratory bird hunting guide. That's very important right there. And if I pull that up, it won't show it on here, but you can pull that up. And that's got all the rules and regs, everything that you're going to need. Now, license-wise, you're going to need, of course, a Kentucky hunting license. And then you're also going to either need a state waterfowl permit, or you're going to need a migratory bird stamp. If you do the waterfowl one, it takes care of everything. So you want to make sure that you got the proper license. And then if we go right here to when you pull up, when you go up here to the top and you go to hunting, you got hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife, education, enforcement, all kinds of good stuff on here. You hear us talk about it, all the time. A lot of good information right here. Learning to hunt, deer hunting, elk hunting. They kind of break it down by species and things that's going on. But we're going to go to migratory bird hunting. When you pull that up, it's got all kinds of information right here. And we're a little bit too far. It loaded up on me. I apologize. But when you go, it's got a lot of good information. If you put in, they had new for this year to the 18th, dove quota hunts. This is where you'll check the results. I can go ahead and tell you right now, I did not get harvested. When you come down here, you can see the dates. Dove is September the 1st through October the 26th. It goes out for a little while, comes back in November the 23rd through the December the 3rd, and then back in December the 3rd to January the 14th. The daily limit is 15, including white-winged dove, and the possession limit is 45. And there's a lot of other species here that'll be coming in as well. You got early wood duck season, teal season, Canada goose season. Here's some hunting license requirements. You have to have a Kentucky hunting license. You also have to have a Kentucky migratory bird or waterfowl permit, along with a federal migratory bird stamp authorizes the holder to hunt all types of migratory game birds, including waterfowl. You do not have to have a federal waterfowl stamp to hunt dove. You have to have a state migratory or waterfowl permit, but you don't have to have. But if you plan on hunting waterfowl, you got to have a federal waterfowl permit. Talks about all kinds of stuff right here. Not what non-toxic shot is. If it's a non-toxic shot field, you're not even allowed to possess a lead shot shell in your possession. So you got to check those. Make sure you check those vests. Make sure that they are clear. You can't have any lead whatsoever. Going down here, here's some more. Here talks about Kentucky resident license, non-residents, shooting hours for a dove on private land or public land. On the first day for everybody, whether it's private land or public land, 11 a.m. to sunset, 11 a.m. It's not deer season. It's not like deer. It's not 30 minutes after sunset. It's to sunset. And on the first day, it's 11 a.m. Whereas the remainder will be 1/2 hour before sunrise to sunset. So you want to make sure that you pay attention to that. Here's a little bit more about shooting hours. Talk about dove. Eurasian collar doves resemble mourning doves, but possess a black slash across the back of their necks. There's no limit on Eurasian doves. Leave head and or wing on during transport.
They may resemble, but I'm telling you right now, they look like giant mourning doves.
Yes,
like a pigeon.
that's right. That's right.
And they've got the same type of call. The
Yeah.
same type of call that a mourning dove has, but it's real raspy. It's almost if you think of a young hen turkey versus a mature hen turkey, their call gets a little bit raspier, a little bit deeper, and guttural. And so if you hear two different types while you're out there, there's a good chance that you've got some collared doves around. But that mourning dove is going to be more of a grayish brown color, and when you see that Eurasian collared dove fly, it'll give off a look like a light gray flash or a white flash almost. So when they're flying, you can almost tell it's two different birds.
Yeah. And here's important. However, hunters should stop after reaching their 15 bird daily limit of mourning doves because the two species cannot be easily distinguished on the wing when they're flying. Nice interactive mount. Will show you all kinds. So you can the legend shows dove fields and all kinds of stuff. You can manipulate this map to where you can have different things pop up in the legend. All kinds. I mean, we could spend just a show talking about the mapping program, but that's all on there. Right here it is, 2023 public dove fields, WMA and co-op fields. So in Western Kentucky, we can look right here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on all of these, but it goes by county, and then it tells you some may have more. There, Ballard County, you got 2 WMA fields right there. Carlisle, looks like you got 1 WMA field. And as you see right here, if you look at Ballard County and you looked at Carlisle, it says it must be U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services approved non-toxic shot. So most of the time, this is going to be in the form of steel shot, low brass steel shot. Probably number 6s, 7.5s, 8s, something like that. Crittenden County has 1. Graves County's got a co-op field. And a co-op field basically, and I'm going to scroll back up here just for a second. A co-op field is basically a field that's been planted by a farmer. If you look right here, I don't want to click on it because it'll bring up another. It says farmers can earn up to $10,000 when they sign up for the cooperative dove field programs. This is where they will farmers can plant fields. It's kind of like a cost share program and whatever, and that's how you get another field besides Fish and Wildlife personnel planting it.
Farmers actually given access to their property X amount of days throughout the dove season. And because Fish and Wildlife is trying to promote the outdoors and get more people into the hunting and give them more access, if a farmer does that, then Fish and Wildlife helps them with the cost of planting the field and this and that. And these fields, these co-op fields, are typically not open the entire season. There are certain days. So that's something to make sure you recognize. If you go on here and you pick out a co-op field, you need to make sure that you're following the dates that are posted as well.
That's right. Crittenden County right here has a red star, which means it is closed except for quota hunt only September 1st through September 9th, open for all hunters beginning September the 10th. Here's Graves County, says cooperative field has 50 acres of harvested or unharvested hemp and 9.5 acres of other habitat. And then it gives you the directions. McCracken County looks like you've got 3 fields there. Livingston County's got 1. West Central, you got 1 in Barron, Breckenridge, Henderson, Hopkins. Muhlenberg and Ohio counties. I'm going kind of through these kind of fast Union counties. Central Kentucky's got Franklin, Grant, Harrison, Henry County. That field right there is for the quota hunt. You can see the red, and then you got two cooperator fields there, and kind of tells you about Madison. That's Miller Welch, Central Kentucky WMA, and Richmond. Mercer County's got two co-op fields. Nelson County, Owen County has two tracks. Shelby County, Spencer County. We get into Northeast. You got one in Bath, which is part of Clay. Clay WMA is where we hunted last year, but we hunted the Fleming County side. Carter County's got the Grayson Lake WMA, as you can see there, non-toxic shot only. Fleming County is the other part of Clay WMS where we hunted. I've hunted Clay the last 3 years. Greenup County, South Shore, non-toxic. And then Morgan County, that's up around Padoker. That is non-toxic. And then you got Southeast and has it there, Greene County, Lincoln, Pulaski, and Taylor. So some more information down through there as well that you can see on other species. So a lot of good information, man. More than we can really cover, and whatever. Look here, Tim Fannin, son, is wanting you to do your dove call.
I like your dove call better.
Of course you do, man. We call them in. I think I've already proven that. I know there's some guys sitting out here thinking I'm full of it.
I get camera shy, buddy.
Hey, buddy. So everybody knows what a mourning dove is. I hope old timers call them rain crows. Is what they call them. But
you do yours, and then I'll do mine.
Yeah. Huh?
All right, now for me.
Yeah.
Here, dovey, 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 dovey. Here, dovey, 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 dovey.
How does that work for you?
Well, it has worked. Might have been a coincidence, but
yeah. Man, we got a special guest waiting in the studio. We got a special event coming up here in Prestonsburg that we're very proud of. All of Eastern Kentucky, I know, is. And we're going to be talking about this. It's going to be stepping outside of what we're normally talking about, but it's for a great cause, and there's going to be some good stuff. We're going to be bringing him on here in just a moment. He's in the studios. Tim said them doves got COVID, buddy. No. So what have we missed, Matt, talking about, filling in for doves? So we've talked a little bit about what you need. There's plenty of public fields, and don't be afraid to go to these public fields. We've hunted public fields. I mean, I've really only hunted one or two private areas all the years that we've been hunting doves. I've been hunting them over 10 years. So, it's going to be hot. That's another thing you got to be prepared for. You're sitting out there 11, from 11 to sunset. If you stay that long, you don't kill out. That's a hot day for anybody. So, you may want to be prepared for that. Plenty of sunscreen, all that stuff. What else?
One thing I'd say is, if you're hunting a private field, obviously you can kind of come and go as you please and this and that. But, doves are going to fly in flurries. There's going to be a lot of times. Typically that opening day is pretty daggone warm outside. I think probably this year we're looking at probably 85 degrees and sunny or something like that. And, typically that opening day is very, very warm. So the doves, they don't fly just continuously from 11 o'clock in the morning to sunset. You'll have a wave there, early in the morning. I say early in the day, like 11, 12 o'clock, you'll have a little wave. And then you'll have a wave starting about 5 o'clock or so. Them doves will start flying again when it gets around dinner time. But, with with a private field, you can kind of come and go as you please, stay out there as long as you want, get there when you want. If you're going to try to hunt a public field, I would really recommend getting there super early. Those fields, they fill up pretty quick typically, and you want to get in there and get you a good spot, find you a spot in the shade, find you a spot where you got a little cover. Just find you a spot close to a power line or a dead tree, because those doves love those power lines and dead trees to land in and take a rest. So get there early, beat the crowd to the field, and try to slip in there and find you a good spot, set up camp, and have you a little cooler there with some drinks and some snacks. Take your child along, take somebody that you can mentor along, and or just go with a buddy and man, just enjoy being out there and what God gives us.
Yeah, man, it is a fantastic time, low key hunt, and it's a great time to mentor to some folks. Anthony McCarty says fly better in the morning or evening, and you kind of touch base on that. I always talk about the flurry. It seems like that's coming on right there around about that. I don't know, after 5 o'clock time. It could be 5, 6, 7 o'clock. The reason that they wait till 11 o'clock is a lot of time them doves will be in there that first day. I mean, if you go in there real early on that first day, you just wipe them all out. They wouldn't be, because they're usually in those fields. But it gives them a chance to get up, to feed, get up, get out of there, and then they'll fly all day. But early mornings and evenings are better. On the first day, hands down, the evening's going to be better. So if you're that person that can't take off work, dove season's always on September the 1st. Doesn't matter what day of the week it is. And you get off and off from work, and, you got a little bit of a drive to wherever you're going. I mean, you get off 4 or 5 o'clock, still go to the dove field. Don't let that deter you. Go to the dove field and enjoy even after work. Throw your stuff in the vehicle and get off work, even if you got to go in your work clothes, and go and enjoy. That's a great question, man. But first day, definitely, I feel like it's going to be evening. If it's an overcast, maybe a little drizzle of rain on and off, they'll fly all day long pretty good. But if it's that hot, sunny day, definitely going to be the evening.
Now, Anthony, moving forward in the season, when you can hunt out there early in the morning, then that's going to be a good time too. But that first day is 7 a.m. before shooting. So, don't get those confused.
Yeah. They use decoys, yes. Decoys are always good if you can find a place. When you're hunting public field, you got to kind of watch what you can and can't do. But they've got mojo decoys, blow-up decoys, foam decoys. These are 2D from Goble, from our friends from Goble Outdoors. And we're really excited about teaming up with them. So we've got these. We're going to be putting those out there and trying them out. Pretty excited. We got our Sandhill Crane decoys from Goble as well. I suggest everybody going over to Facebook, giving them a like, Goble Outdoors. But yes, if you got some decoys, doesn't take a whole lot either. Go, if they can have a visual, if you're in that field, if you can have visual, you kind of get them to come your way. That's what you're looking for.
Them doves love sitting in those dead trees, those dead limbs of trees, and they love sitting on them power lines, and they love sitting on them fences. And so, all three of those roosting spots, and when I say roosting, I don't mean going to bed at night. I'm saying the perching spots. All three of those perching spots puts that dove silhouette out there in the open where the other doves can see them. So the decoys, yes, I think that absolutely does intrigue them a lot more. And so if you can you don't have to have 3 dozen decoys, sitting out there somewhere. But if you're going to be hunting next to a fence row or something like that, or a dead tree, and you can put 4, 5, 6 decoys around close by where you're at, I think that would definitely help your chances.
Yeah. And another good question says, safely, how would you place those on public? Tim, placing those dove decoys, you really don't have to worry about, like you would a turkey decoy or something. Everybody sees you put them up. You know, what I typically do is I try to put them out in front of me, away from me. You know, if I can get them away from me, 10, 15 yards out, if I can get them up a little bit, you got to be kind of strategic in what you've got. But if you can put those out, they'll be positioned all around. And usually there's enough of them that, you and your buddy and your neighbors and whatever help. But normally it isn't a big problem placing them, and it's always been safe for us. Nobody shoots those birds, or shoot, even thinks about shooting at a decoy. It's a pretty good deal and pretty safe no matter where you put them. But now if you can get them on a fence, if you get them on a fence row, or like Matt said, on the edge, that's always the safest and the best.
And I'll tell you too, talking about shooting those perched birds, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if there is a rule about shooting a bird that's sitting, but as a sportsman, let that bird be flying before you shooting at it. Come on, guys. It's there's plenty of opportunities to shoot at birds. You don't have to kill them while they're sitting on the ground, or
Right.
If you've wounded one, that's one thing, but to just sneak up and shoot one off of a dead limb or a fence row, come on.
That's right.
Let's be a little more sportsmanlike.
Well, man, how many you predicting? We get ready to bring on our buddy Heath Chafin here and talk about the arm drop drags, but how many you predicting? I seen you shoot last year, and I can't even get you to pull the trigger.
I know, man. I don't like to be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? But I would say this year. Now, listen, we did this same conversation with the frog gigging episode, and you said, how many do you think we'll get? And I said, well, we got 3 people with a 15-person limit, or 15 frog limit a person, so that would be 45. And my prediction was we would get 4 or 5, and we did a little better than that. So. With the dove hunts, I don't know how many people we're going to have with us that day, but it's 15 doves per man. So for you and I, that would be 30. And I'm going to say we can get at least 3.
Yeah. Well, that will beat last year's. How about that?
Yeah. Well,
yeah. Hey, man, let's switch gears here just a little bit. We're going to bring on our buddy Heath Chafin, man, and we're going to be talking about a special deal. We're going to be changing things up here just a little bit. I know, man, drag racing don't have a whole lot to do with hunting and fishing, but it is all things outdoor, and it's for a great cause. It's got a great story behind it. So we're going to bring on Heath here, man. We appreciate him taking time to be with us, man. Hey, Heath, how you doing, brother?
Doing well. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, man. Thanks for wanting to come on. We appreciate it very much. Welcome to On Iron Outdoors. We got a very special event coming up here, man. I got the flyer right here. I'm gonna pop it up and before we get into this event, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into what we're going to be talking about here.
Well, my name's Heath Chafin. I lived in Prestonsburg, mainly Abbott Creek, my whole life. And, just an outdoor guy. Grew up in the creek, catching snakes and turtles. Got a twin brother, and we're both kind of known for catching snakes. Even when we used to work for the city, people would call us, the mayor, for example, and be like, hey, there's a snake at municipal parking lot. You need to go catch it. And so we still do that at the ripe old age of 38. But I got into drag racing about 10 years ago, or 11 years ago, thanks to the Hillbilly Arm Drop Drag. I went there for an event in 2012, and worst thing that ever happened to me financially, because it got me into drag racing, and I've sunk so much money into that old car of mine, but I love it. I hate it some days, but mostly I love it. And got to know Kent real well through the race, and eventually I got on board with him and started help promoting the races, and here I am today.
Yeah, man. Tell us a little bit about Kent Rose and the Kent Rose Foundation.
So Kent Rose, had a reputation, you could say, and he was a larger-than-life personality. before I got to know him, I'd heard a lot of, hearsay and rumors about him. And I probably didn't think he was as good a guy as he was. But once I got to know him and got to know his heart, I realized who he really was. And he was really about the community and about the kids. And this drag race just personified that. Every race had a Big Wheels race, had inflatables for the kids. Kids got in free. It truly was a family event. The drag race drew people from multiple states. I think we've had racers from maybe a dozen states, and we have racers registered from 10 states currently for this event. What a lot of people don't know, though, is this event was really a dying wish of Kent's. When he was within hours of death, he was still planning this race, and he wanted his wife, Gina, to somehow make this possible. And with some encouragement from a lot of OG arm drop racers, Gina kept that drive alive, and years of work had finally paid off. And Friday and Saturday this weekend, we're going to have the race.
Man, we are excited. I got the flyer popped up here. Tells a little bit about it. Going to have a lot of folks here. This is going to be at the Combs Airport on Route 321. If you're somebody maybe is not real familiar, it is what we call the old road between Prestonsburg and Paintsville. And as you can see there, there's the entries that's going to be there. But there's so much stuff. It's for families. It's for kids. We'll talk about the big wheel race you're going to have.
Okay, so years ago, Kent started the big wheel race, and at this event, we have 100 Radio Flyer big wheels, which will be free to the first 100 people who register their children on Saturday morning. They get to take them home and everything. There's still people from 10 years ago that have their big wheels. Of course, those kids are in college now, but it meant a lot to those kids, and we hope it continues to mean a lot to those kids. And I know it means a lot to the parents. A reminder, children do get in free. We do have the inflatables again this year, and we have at least 8 food trucks from area vendors. So it's almost going to be like a festival within the drag race. So there's something for everybody. This event is pretty unique. Those payouts for the winners of each class, those are guaranteed. If one shows up or 1,000, we're still paying those to the winners of each class. We do expect to have at least 200 cars, and it's just going to be a huge event.
That is awesome, man. And also, an arm drop wouldn't be complete without a concert. What kind of concert you going? I know Matt's going to like this one.
So Kent always said that one day he would have AC/DC playing at Combs Airport. Well, this is probably the next best thing we can have. It's Thunderstruck, which is a tribute band to AC/DC. I've watched them on YouTube. Yeah, they sound like the real deal.
What'd you say, Matt?
I have seen Thunderstruck before, and they're incredible. They dress the part. They sing the part. They play the part. If you've never been to an AC/DC concert, but you want that experience, that I can tell you right now, you won't be disappointed if you show up to this.
Yeah, that is awesome, man. Now, how can people find out more, or what? Tell us all about how do people what's going to happen on Friday.
So we have the Arm Drop Nation Facebook page. That's where most of the information is. We're making daily posts, new content every day, getting ready for the race. A lot of announcements, regarding parking, VIP parking, ticket prices, things like that. We've done a lot of work down at Combs, construction work for new roads, plumbing, electricity. A lot of work has gone into it. Like I said, this has been something that's been going on for years, getting ready for this race. And we really think it's going to pay off, and we expect a lot of people and a lot of racers.
That is awesome, man. Just like with you, we even though Matt's kind of more central Kentucky, we adopted him over here in the east and call him one of our own. But Eastern Kentucky and a lot of folks that are watching, we're very proud of our area, and this is something that we're very proud to showcase, and it's really good for our area. Our area's been hit with a lot of things, and tourism and things have really helped a lot with the things that we've lost as far as coal mining and things like this, and to have this, come to Eastern Kentucky, to be in Eastern Kentucky, to be created in Eastern Kentucky is something to be proud of. And we appreciate you. We appreciate everybody. Gina, the Lexi of Kent, going on in this, and everybody that's part of this, man, just makes you proud to be part of Prestonsburg and Eastern Kentucky.
Well, Trinity, we really appreciate you having us on and showcasing us. And once again, I just urge everyone to come out and see what this event's all about. September 1st and 2nd, that's Friday and Saturday. Gates open at 9 a.m. on Friday, and we'll have test and tune all day until 6 p.m. when the stick shift class will go into eliminations. At about 8 o'clock, we will have the concert, and then we'll come back and do it again the next day with a little bit of test and tune and then all the other classes.
Fantastic, man. We are looking forward to it. Folks, if you're not in Prestonsburg this Labor Day weekend, you're going to be missing out. There's lots to do. This is only one part. There's a lot of other things to see while this isn't going on. And listen, what do you have to lose just coming down and grabbing a bite to eat and just giving them a little bit of opportunity? Goes to a good cause. This also isn't just money that is just going to be paid out. There's a lot of good things that come from the Kent Rose Foundation and other things to help a lot of folks here in Eastern Kentucky too. So it's for a good cause.
Yep. I definitely need to mention some of the things the Kent Rose Foundation is responsible for. At Archer Park in Prestonsburg, we have the Kid Folk Reunion, which it goes along with the Kinfolk Reunion, which is a concert that happens at Archer Park. And it's an all-day event for children, and especially children of special needs. And there's all sorts of activities and crafts and more physical things for them to do. And then the Kent Rose Foundation also is responsible for the casting for kids, which is one of the, if not the largest fishing activity for children in the country. And then they are also currently in the stages of building a sensory park for special needs children. A lot of the proceeds from this event will directly go to those activities. And this truly is a not-for-profit. I'm not being paid for this. Gene is not being paid for this. We probably have over 50 people who are involved with getting this race ready. And every one of us has, a full-time 40-plus hour a week job and takes time out of our, downtime to do this event and help it get ready. So, it can definitely be tiresome sometimes, but it is very rewarding.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you and all the volunteers of this, man. Thank you all for everything you do.
Thank you very much. And again, thank you for having me. And like I said, hope to see you guys down there this weekend.
Yeah, man. Everybody, mark your calendars if you don't have anything to do, or if you're looking for something to do, or we can change your mind. Come down to Prestonsburg. Plenty of places to stay, plenty to do. Just at the end of Oxford, the Oxford end of, or the northern end of Jenny Wiley State Resort Park, just a few miles from the park at the Combs Airport. Matt, what was you going to say?
I was going to say, this flyer, at least what I can see, is kind of small. Is where can they go to see this flyer? Is there a place? Is there an online address or something that people can go to get more information?
Yeah, so like I said, there is the Facebook page, which is Arm Drop Nation, and then there's also armdropnation.com.
Yep. There you go. Facebook, Arm Drop Nation, or armdropnation.com website. So make sure you check it out. Heath, man, thanks for joining us. Thank you for everything we do. And listen, maybe we have you back on next week, a little follow-up, tell us how it went.
Well, that'd be great. And maybe I can catch a snake or two and bring it with me.
Hey, you speaking my language, man. I've got, and Matt will tell you, I got 3 pet snakes that I've had for a long time, and we catch them here too. So I appreciate you doing that and taking care of our little reptile friends there.
Well, it's definitely a hobby of mine. But, yeah, I'd be glad to come on next week and hopefully have a good report for you guys.
Good deal, man. Heath, you have a good one, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
See you, brother. Man, I mean, Dove, arm drop drag racing, good food. I mean, we're going to be cooking breakfast. What?
ACDC?
ACDC. I mean, what a week, man. What a weekend for everybody to be able to enjoy. I mean, you can go dove hunting. You come back and go to the arm drop drag racing. I mean, I don't know what else we can do for people.
You know, Trinity, and that arm drop race, that's the first and the second, I believe is what I seen there. So you still got Sunday and Monday being a holiday. You still got Sunday and Monday to do something else you want to do. So this will be a weekend for everybody. Weather looks like it's going to be nice too. So get out there and do something.
Pretty good. Folks, that's going to do it for On Iron Outdoors for this show. We appreciate you tuning in. Thank you to everybody that has stayed loyal to us and stick with us and get this thing back going. We got a lot of great things coming your way with TLC Outfitters. Man, we're just getting into our prime time, and I cannot wait. We're very excited about this year. Looking forward to a great elk season. And this dove stuff and everything coming is just getting us kicked off. So you stay with us. Make sure you check us out on YouTube. TLC Outfitters 1 is the address there. Give us a subscribe there and check out our videos. Going to be a lot more coming your way. Also, if you haven't done so, please like and follow us here on Facebook and also on Instagram. Matt, as always, man, I appreciate you, and I'll see you here towards the end of the week.
Sounds good, buddy.
All right, folks, remember, if you want to know the creator, check out the creation. No greater way to do that than to take a kid or somebody who's never been in the woods or on the water hunting and fishing. Stay tuned with us. We hope to see you on air and outdoors with TLC Outfitters. See y'all soon.
Eastern Kentucky, where I was raised, where the wildlife and mountains call my name. I was born to hunt, I was born to guide, a camouflage on a rifle by my side. Just good old country boys chasing dreams in the Appalachian Mountains, a field of trees. From those white-tailed bucks strutting toms, the bugling elks that are on the run, where those